The Wuthering Waves reveal livestream has ended a couple of hours ago, and it was alright. Nothing too crazy. They were just talking about random things, like random people even, and doing some weird random mini games nobody really cared about, unfortunately. But with a game that is just around the corner and we've been waiting so long for, we players don't want to see just this random things. We want to see more about the game to get up to date to what we can expect in the next couple of days when Wuthering Waves actually releases. So Kuro Games really failed with this live stream. Hopefully they will improve with the next following couple of live streams, and they probably will. Kuro Games usually listens to their community, to their players, so that shouldn't be really a worry. And of course, they did show us some new footage of the game, and it all looked absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And they did talk about the two first featured 5-star characters. Of course, we knew this already. It's going to be Jian with his first banner, and then Yin Lin. Now, you can do whatever you want. I will be skipping Jian and pulling only for Yin Lin because my luck is usually as bad as it can get. So I will be skipping Jian, pulling for Yin Lin, hopefully getting her. You can do whatever you want, but that is not necessarily a problem because we will be getting sort of two free 5-stars. First banner will be up to 50 pulls that you can actually do on it, and then it will disappear. Within this 50 pulls, you are guaranteed one 5-star character at least. And after that one disappears, you get a second banner where once you get to Hard Pity, if you're that unlucky, which is not 50, I think it's 80, you can choose. You can pick a character you like, a 5-star character. And for that pick, I would advise you heavily, especially at the beginning where the game will be even harder than later on, choose a good DPS character. That is very, very important. Choose your favorite character. Hopefully it will be DPS, a DPS character, and you will be good to go at the beginning. That will be a huge boost. So make sure you pick a good DPS character at the beginning. And of course, they showed us the pre-registration milestones. Now, we've reached all of them, I believe. They could have easily added another goal with 40 million and we would have knocked it out of the park. I am sure of it. They could have made a 40 million sign up goal and we would have gotten it by probably today, tomorrow. But anyways, we will get a bit of money, which is very useful, especially in the beginning where we have to grind for everything. A bit of character experience or advanced resonance potions, which is very nice. Some premium currency, I'll take that every day. A sigil, which I don't know what it is, but I guess I'll take it. And 20 free pulls, the best thing of all. And of course, a free weapon. Now, even though they didn't show off too much new crazy stuff or have anything special revealed for the game and talk mostly about random things, and at the end, I think they had a competition where they had to fight a boss in game. That was kind of nice. The combat of Wuthering Waves just looks absolutely beautiful every time I see it. It looks very, very fast paced. It looks full of action, and that was really nice. But that was like the highlight, unfortunately. But even though the entire stream wasn't too crazy, I think viewer numbers peaked at 35,000, 40,000 people, which is insane. It should be bigger than even Honkai Star Rail update streams. I'm not sure about Genshin Impact update streams, but I mean, we could have reached that number too. And for a new game, this is just insane from a smaller company even. And even hours before the stream even started, there were thousands of people waiting to see what the stream will reveal. So it's a really good sign for Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves. There are plenty of people wanting to play this game, looking forward to play this game, just as I am and probably you are. Just the entire game, the combat, the characters, the world, just look all so incredibly beautiful. And the company isn't even trying to rip us off, although it is a gacha game. But especially now that we have seen again what we will get for free once we just log into the game for the first time. And with all those events, the wishes we will get, the weapons, the free weapons, we will get the free characters, because we do get another free 4-star character, in fact, that being Sanhua, I believe. which looks amazing as well. The Kuro Games with Wuthering Waves is just so extremely generous that we don't even have or are being forced to pay to spend money on it, which is crazy for a gacha game because that's how, like, that's the nature of gacha games actually. But we shouldn't even worry about that because Wuthering Waves is definitely focusing on combat, and if we spend money to get more progress, to build our characters faster or to get more characters, I think especially with Wuthering Waves, it's going to be actually a debuff for your fun because this game heavily focuses on combat. And we don't want to spend thousands of dollars, and I would advise you not to do that, to just clear all the content in just one try. I mean, that's why Souls-like are so popular, because they have a certain difficulty. Especially Elden Ring has a certain difficulty. Why would we make the game artificially easier by spending so much unnecessary money to reduce the time of fun we can have with a game? So I would heavily advise, in like, the generosity of Kuro Games is big enough for you to never ever spend in Wuthering Waves, unless, and I am hoping for this a lot, they create skins. That's the only thing I would spend money for. They did it in PGR. They might, hopefully, I am praying for it basically, that they will make skins for Wuthering Waves as well, because we haven't had a huge success gacha title that actually had a decent output of skins, unfortunately. And Wuthering Waves is actually so important right now. It has so much hype, so many people interested in it, and it's going to be really, really interesting how Wuthering Waves is going to perform actually. Like, we know people are looking forward to it. We don't have the numbers though. We don't have the numbers of how many people are actually playing this game. We don't know how much revenue this game will make. So these are all predictions, or we're hoping that Wuthering Waves will be successful, and it will very likely, right? But having the numbers is always reassuring. And this is especially important because gacha games such as Wuthering Waves aren't the norm in Western video game markets, basically. Gacha games had their first big appearance with us Westerners in the COVID times with Genshin Impact, when everybody stayed or had to stay at home. Everything was closed, nothing could be done outside of the home, and people looked forward to do basically everything. They became very creative, and Hoyoverse, or back in the days, MiHoYo, created Genshin Impact, advertised it heavily, saw the opportunity, and got a ton of people playing Genshin Impact. Maybe even people that haven't played video games at all before, or in my case, I have never played a gacha game before Genshin Impact, and I got hooked on gacha games through the COVID times, right? And they kept up this trend with Honkai Star Rail, of course. Even though the success wasn't as big as Genshin Impact, it still is probably the second largest gacha game in at least the Western market, Western video game market, because the big gacha game markets are still Chinese and the Japanese video game market, right? That's where the big money is made for gacha game companies. But of course, Hoyoverse opened the door, stepped into the room of the Western video game market, and put gacha games on the spot. And Wuthering Waves will be the last test to see if even a smaller gacha game company can develop and release a big title that is a gacha game in the Western market. And that without the COVID buff, of course, because if we have a look at Honkai Impact 3rd, the previous game from MiHoYo, or Hoyoverse these days, it's compared to their successors, or their later games, Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, compared to that, Honkai Impact 3rd is just so much smaller, especially in the Western video game market. And it's just going to be very interesting to see how Wuthering Waves, how a new big gacha title will perform for us, or with us Westerners. But of course, that is not the only reasons why gacha games might take off in the Western video game market, because we have had a ton of bad games in recent history with our Western video game companies, right? With their triple, quadruple A games, right? That big quadruple A joke that was. I mean, early access video games with missing features, a ton of bugs, And that all for $70 minimum in the meantime, or more. You can even purchase $100 gold, premium, ultra packs, call them whatever you want. They're just a ripoff for you to play 2 days prior to everybody else. Congratulations, you're playing a bad game 2 days before everybody else. And then on the other side, we have gacha games, which are usually free to play. Of course, they can be very predatory. You can waste a lot of money on them. You don't have to, but usually they're free to play. And even more important is they usually release in a full version, like a proper version of the game, and aren't full of bugs. There might be some of them, right? You can't always have a bug-free game. That would be crazy, but they perform a lot better than other games outside of the gacha genre. So that might also be a good reason why popularity for gacha games is actually growing right now, and rightfully so. And since Kuro Games knows exactly how their competition looks like, they just basically have a list of things to do and not to do. So Wuthering Waves will very likely just be better in every regard than Genshin Impact. Maybe just slightly, but that's all they need to attract player attention, to give players a reason to swap from other gacha games to Wuthering Waves. That was basically it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Big exciting times ahead of us. I will see you soon. See ya.